Hey guys, happy Netflix night and happy Marvel Monday. I'm making this into, I guess, a new trend because last week I watched the Fantastic. Jay and I just came out of Fantastic Four last week, which was on a Monday, so we called it Marvel Monday. Today on Netflix night, I'm going to discuss the um, Sony Pictures of Marvel Movies, or SPUM as it's known, and talking about a character I only knew about through the animated series called Madam Web, who a little bit that I kind of know that she kind of knows about the whole future of the, from what I've seen from the 1997 Spider-Man series, she was sort of like kind of the queen of the Madam Web character, and that's where I noted it. Um, and then back in this past year, there was Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey, and she's also John Donson's daughter, was in the film Madam Web. Now, Madam Web takes place, I think, probably in I think they said it's in the 1990s, like 97, 96. So, Peter Parker isn't born yet, but Mary Parker is going to be having Peter, and because I think in the comics they were spies, but in this one, Ben Parker is working with Cassie, who is a Ben Parker is working as a medic, as an ambulance driver for Cassie, who's also a medic. Cassie ends up having like kind of these deja vu moments, and she ends up kind of seeing things before they happen. And so, like the first time they're driving to like a person on a bridge they try to save, and she can kind of see the future. And then she has this weird feeling with there's these three girls who are all kind of become Spider Women, and she sort of becomes their thing. It's When you look at this film, I kind of was interested in it just because that this film kind of came out with the Sony Pictures movie films such as Venom, uh, Venom 2, Craven the Hunter. Madam Web kind of shows into the films like the SPUM universe, which is Sony Picture Marvel movies. And to me, this film was I was hoping it to be better. I kind of thought that I was hoping it for it to be better. Try it. I think it felt like there was some. I was trying to see there was some potential. A female lead film. I thought that the whole idea, it was sort of the origin story of kind of how, not just the Peter Parker stuff, but also with I think the four girls are all supposed to be like Silk and different Spider Women. And then there's Ezekiel. Now, I know a little bit about Ezekiel through the comics a little bit. I've read up a little bit about him. I think in like kind of the issue, like in Amazing Spider-Man, before Amazing Spider-Man issue 500, there was a Spider-Man met Ezekiel, who kind of told him about how his powers were not just, he wasn't just gifted, it wasn't random, but it was something special. And I think that has to do with a lot of this. I can kind of see that. This film works. I think, there's that kind of, I feel like this film works because it has sort of that girl power feel to it, because I think that, it was a strong female lead, but I feel like the writing could have done better. I think we could have seen a little bit more of, them being um, more, I don't know, more like with the powers, but it just felt like more of an origin story that was just sort of was more of an origin story that just sort of really worked on its own. But Madam Web is a pretty lackluster film. I haven't seen Craven yet, but I would have to say, out of the Venom movies, like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and The Last Dance, I think the Venom films were done a lot better. Madam Web, I think I was hoping that it worked better, but I feel like there was potential, but just it didn't get it to where I was hoping for it to be. Madam Web just felt like there was some potential there, but it just didn't grab me as well as I wanted it to be. I thought it was a little. I did feel like I do have to say, I did like Dakota Johnson and what's his name? He's in Severance. It'll be up here. Dakota Johnson and the guy that played Ben Parker um, were really good. I thought they had great chemistry. I thought Ben Parker and then I think Emma Roberts was in this movie as um, Peter Parker's mother. And there's kind of the birth of Peter Parker, that's sort of like kind of the ending of it. So it kind of worked in that way, but I don't know. It just it had potential, but just I wasn't really invested as much as I was with the Venom movies and the with the rest of the spum. I mean, I just think it was just sort of, it just could have been better, and I was hoping, that we would have seen more of like the birth of other Spider-Man villains as well, kind of the earlier stages of them might have been interesting to see. But yeah, I give it probably a 6 out of the my 1 through 10 scale. I as a Marvel movie, I would probably say I wasn't as a Marvel movie. I think it'd be it might have been as, I don't know. It's just it wasn't. It was, I wanted to like it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. So I'd probably give it, as a Marvel movie, maybe a 5. But but that's my thoughts on the that's my thoughts on Madam Web. If you've seen this movie, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you feel like this film was just kind of kind of Sony's last attempt to kind of keep the Spider-Man IP alive, or do you feel like it was better? Did you like the characters? But I don't know. I just think it was it could have done better, but I think the animated show made Madam Web a lot more of an interesting character than they did in this film. So it's kind of a shame, but yeah, I thought it was decent. But I thought it was a, okay. I guess is the best I can say for it. And that's just being generous. But what's your thoughts on Madam Web? Did you like it? Have you seen it? Or is it something, a film that you don't want to see because of what you think? But let me know in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe. And Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Hello, skip Madam Web. Peace.